Lordship's question was, who appoints and who posts the officers in the GNCTD? Lord, my answer would be, and I would substantiate at the end, entry 70, list 1. Please see, my lord. And then, my lord, I'll immediately go to the written submissions. Entry 70, list 1.
Yes.
That's your lordship, sir. Union Public Services, All India Services, and Union Public Service Commission. Lord, I would show from the rules that all these, except DAS, Lord, which is class 3, class 4, etc., are all India services. Kindly park that, Lord, undisputed position on the side.
17, right? 170.
70, Lord, I'm sorry. Entry.
Union Public Services, All India Services, Union Public.
Yes, Lord, all are all India services under the rules framed by the President in proviso to Article 309 of the Constitution. And those rules provide for, Lord, all mechanism, appointment, posting, etc. But, my Lord, that I will come subsequently. My Lord had some.
Yes. No, I got the point.
Lord, your lordships would essentially be answering the question, my Lord, whether the term services would be hit by the phrase insofar as it is applicable to the union territory.
Yes.
Because, my Lord, your lordships are not deciding the question regarding the capital of the nation, and which will have far-reaching ramifications for the nation, my Lord. Therefore, slightly your lordships may require a historical background as to how Delhi was conceptualized and eventually constitutionally provided for in a different governmental framework. There is a different, my Lord, framework provided, and there is a history behind it. Lord, kindly come to, Lord, one judgment. Lord, I'm sorry, I'm reading this judgment at the outset, but it's not on the question. It's on question of Delhi. What is the significance of Delhi? And therefore, my Lord, thereafter I'll take your lordships to the, Lord, kindly come to para 2 of my written submissions. Lord, right now your ladyship, my lords may kindly take only the written submissions. I'll not go beyond this. And there also, my Lord, I'll skip what is not relevant. Everything is relevant, but what need not be read. I'll my Lord, put it that way. Page 2, Lord, the judgment in Jagdish Sharan versus Union of India. The Justice Krishna Iyer's judgment, as the language would immediately, my Lord, make it clear. Para 10.
One.
Pardon?
Para?
Page 2, para 5, judgment para 10.
Yes.
Is a quotation.
Yes.
The capital city is not just a part of India. It is miniaturized India. A fact often forgotten by the administration in the field of culture and education, especially vis-a-vis regional minorities. It is megapolitan and people from all parts flock to this outsized city. But we cannot exaggerate this factor. For the presence of the farther regions like South and Northeast, population-wise is minimal and precarious. Sri Balakrishnan, the learned counsel, not the report, Balakrishnan report, not that Balakrishnan, insisted that university was sustained. Your lordship can skip. We may, then para 56, we may wind up by articulating the core thought that vitalizes our approach. Anyone who lives inside India can never be considered an outsider in Delhi. Look, the concept that people of Delhi has a right of will, etc., etc. Delhi is a cosmopolitan, not just cosmopolitan, it is miniaturized India. It belongs to the nation. It belongs to the entire country. Now, Lord, let's see, Lord. Now, kindly come to para 3. Historically, my Lord, why this would be relevant? Because your lordships would be examining the chapter of services. And when your lordship examines the chapter of services, your lordships will need the distinction between the historical part A states, part B states, part C states, and part D states. There was a distinction which was, my lord, eliminated, and thereafter, my lord, now Delhi is formed not from part A and part B, but part C. The relevance I'll come to later. Kindly come to, my lord, historical background, para 8. It is submitted that Government of India Act 1935 recognized in the circumstances in which it was enacted three categories of components of erstwhile union, namely governors' provinces, federating Indian states, and chief commissioners' provinces. Kindly note here, my lord, at this stage, Delhi was a chief commissioner's province. It was not a federating state. Lord, this classification was reflected in the grouping of states of the Indian Union as part A, B, and A, B, C, and D states after independence and after Constitution came to be framed. Therefore, when the Indian Constitution was enacted, there were four categories of states known as part A, B, C, and D. Lord, you'll have to take it from me that Delhi was part C state. There would not be any dispute on this factual problem. We differ on the interpretation of the Article 239 AA. This fact is not in dispute. Lord, before the Constitution came into force, and even before the independence, Lord, at the request of the Constituent Assembly, a committee was constituted. That was Patabi Sitaramaiah Committee. Lord, an eminent tall leader, my lord, of his time, my lord, an eminent Congress leader, my lord, just incidentally, he fought against Sardar, against Subhash Chandra Bose as a president of Congress and lost, though he was sponsored as a candidate of Mahatma Gandhi. But he lost, my lord, the Subhash Chandra Bose one. Nothing to do with the matter. My lord, I'm not reading the entire recommendations. Kindly see E. Center must have special responsibility for the good government and financial solvency of the for Delhi. This was, my lord, Delhi specific commission, and they say that Delhi being the capital, I'm not going into, my lord, the details which ultimately reached into this conclusion, but they say, the committee says, Delhi must have special responsibility because it's a capital of the belongs to the nation. The nation is known by the capital. Now, my lord, the constitution comes into force, and your lordships may kindly see para 13 at the foot, article 1. India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. The states and the territories thereof shall be the states and territories specified in part A, B, and C of the first schedule. So, my lord, India comprises of A, B, C. But in the first schedule, A and B were states, the way, my lord, we understand, like Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, etc., etc. And Delhi was in part C. That fact, again, my lord, is not in dispute. Now, kindly come to, my lord, para 15 at page 5. Part C states had also been termed as centrally administered areas. They always have been, my lord, historically centrally administered, and that thread continues with variations till date. That's what, my lord, I'm trying to respectfully drive at. The Part C state had also been termed as centrally administrative areas. Delhi, in addition to Ajmer, Bhopal, Bilaspur, Kurg, Himachal Pradesh, Kutch, Manipur, Tripura, and Madhya Pradesh, was included in the list of Part C states. Look, thereafter, kindly come to the next page, page 6, Government of Part C States Act. Look, there is some relevance, my lord, to this. This, my lord, now Delhi came to be governed for the first time by a statutory enactment made by Parliament, namely the Government of India, Government of Part C States Act. Upon Constitution coming into force, the Parliament enacted Government of Part C States Act 1951 in exercise of the powers under Article 240. With a Section 21 of the said Act, a statutory provision was made for the first time for Delhi to have a council of ministers and have a legislature comprising of elected representatives. With a Section 3 of the Act, a legislative assembly had been created for Part C states. Section 21 had demarcated the legislative power of the assembly of Part C states. Section 21(1) had provided that the legislative assembly of Part C state could make laws with respect to any of the matters enumerated in the state list or in the concurrent list. However, insofar as the Legislative Assembly of Delhi was concerned, the proviso to Section 21 had specifically excluded number of subjects from the legislative competence of the Legislative Assembly of Delhi, including public order, police, land buildings, municipal corporations, etc. My lord. Now kindly turn the page over, my lord, and come to para 22. My lordships would notice, my lord, I am skipping other paragraphs which may kindly be read, my lord, whenever your lordships find at leisure, my lord. But I am right now not troubling your lordships with that. Para 22. Further, the proviso to Section 36(1) of the Act inter alia had provided that in cases of difference of opinion between the Chief Commissioner, or the earlier version of the LG, and his ministers on any matter, the Chief Commissioner shall refer it to the President for decision and act according to the decision given thereon by the President. Pending any such decision, the Chief Commissioner in any case of urgency was duly enabled, empowered, and could take such action or give such direction as it deems necessary. Lord, this is the counterpart of Article 239 AA, sub-Article 4. Slightly differently worded, but in substance, that is what it says. Lord, thereafter, my lord, the Parliament appointed Justice Fazal Ali Commission. Please see para 24. In 1953, Fazal Ali Commission was charged with the task of reorganizing the states on linguistic line by the then Prime Minister. In the year 1955, the Commission submitted its report. Lord, so far as Delhi is concerned, kindly come to para page 10. What Justice Fazal Ali Commission remarked with respect to Delhi, which, please my lord, bear in mind, continued to be Part C state, not a full-fledged state, which it is not even today. But there is some other significance of it being a Part C state. Therefore, my lord, I am reiterating and emphasizing. Lord, page 10, your lordships have. Para 27. Lord, what? There are other, my lord, things also. Lord, I kindly come to, my lord, page 9 first for my lord, time being. Para 285 of the report. Taking all the, my lords have taken. Taking all the facts into consideration, we recommend that the component units of the Indian Union be classified into two categories: states forming primary constituents units of the Indian Union, having a constitutional relationship with the center on a federal basis. These units should cover virtually the entire country, and territories which, for vital, strategic, or other considerations, cannot be joined to any of the states and are therefore centrally administered. Please see the thread which is running historically from the beginning, that there are certain areas which are so strategically located for various reasons. In some areas, defense strategic. For some areas, it may be some external affairs issue. In a capital like Delhi, it's a capital, therefore has its own strategy. And therefore, they say directly the center should administer. And therefore, my lord, I keep repeatedly insisting that UT is nothing but an extension of union. It may have various shades. Some UT may have legislature, some UT may not have legislature, but ultimately the supremacy and control of the state is not only the need of the hour, had always been thought to be so.